What's up, guys? It's me Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Matt Korobov versus Ronald Ellis, which will be a 10-rounder in the middleweight division. And this fight will be Saturday, December 12th from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. It will be broadcasted on Showtime in the United States, sponsored by PBC. And again, both fighters, Matt Korobov, the highly touted Russian amateur, fought in the Olympics in 2008 in China. He's also beaten the likes of Sergey Derenchenko in the amateurs, Badu Jack, Sergey Kovalev, as well as Alexander Usyk, and he's beaten many other guys, just to name a few. But he has a professional record now at 28 wins, 3 defeats, 1 draw with 14 by way of knockout. His 3 losses are to sort of the top middleweight contenders at various times. He's, as I said before, ranked number 44 by BoxRec right now. He has challenged for the title 3 times, the interim WBA title in his most recent fight, the interim WBC title against Jermall Charlo, and the WBO middleweight title against Andy Lee, which was vacant in about 2015. Matt Korobov is coming off that loss to Chris Eubank Jr. back in December of 2019. He did challenge for the interim WBA title, as I said before. He did look very, very good in that fight. I mean, he was backing up Eubank. It did look like he hurt him at one point when he landed his beautiful left hand. He has great head movement, Korobov, great speed, but his endurance is the only thing that lets him down. But in that fight versus Eubank, as most of you know, well, if you didn't, he did get a shoulder injury in the second round. When he was throwing a left hand, his shoulder popped out, similar to George Groves when he fought Eubank, speaking of shoulder injuries. But moving on to his other loss, to Jermall Charlo specifically, that was a very controversial loss. I thought that Korobov won that fight fair and square. They scored it. I mean, the scores were terrible for that fight. They scored a 119-109 for Charlo, and the other scores were 116-112. It was either a draw or a Korobov win. I thought Korobov was winning 7-5. He was controlling the pace, I have to say. He was making Charlo miss, making him pay with the left hand, landing some good hooks, and I thought he won the fight. But he did get hurt in that 12th round, and that was where his stamina let him down, just like in the Aleem fight. But against Emmanuel Aleem, he does have a draw, but that's total, I guess you could say, BS, because he really beat Emmanuel Aleem. I have to say, he beat him. I mean, it was so obvious. The unofficial scorecard scored at 98-92. I scored at 98-92. The only rounds you could give Aleem were the last 2 rounds. Korobov hurt him in the 6th, nearly dropped him in the 4th as well. I mean, he was just winning that fight through and through, and then they had to go to his corner after the fight and call it a draw. I mean, it was just disgusting. He won that fight fair and square. But then his best win is against Jose Uskansky, which is a very good win. Back when Uskansky was at middleweight, he won the WBO International title, I believe it was. And that was when he was fighting on HBO. And then right after that fight, as you all know, he took on Andy Lee for the vacant WBO middleweight world title. And he did lose that fight by 6-round KO. I mean, in that fight versus Andy Lee, he was controlling the pace. He was winning every single round on the judges' scorecards. They had it 60-54, if not 59-55. But then, obviously, Andy Lee caught him with one shot, hurting him, and then stopped him standing. But, yeah, I gotta say, Matt Korobov, he's sort of at the end of his career, and he's got to get a win here if he wants another title shot, because I don't really see him getting any other title shots or anything if he loses this fight or doesn't look good. So he has to look good, on point, and get an excellent victory here. Moving on to his opponent, Ronald Ellis, has a record of 17 wins, 1 defeat, 2 draws, with 11 wins coming by way of knockout. He's ranked number 45 by BoxRec, so very close there in ranking, but instead Ellis is ranked in the super middleweight division. Although he hasn't fought too much there, but his one defeat is to DeAndre Ware, who is known for fighting at the super middleweight division by majority decision. He has 2 draws to Junior Yunnan and Jerry Odom, and he is coming off a majority decision win against Emmanuel Aleem, so there's a common opponent there. But in my opinion, I think Korobov did way better against Aleem than Ellis did, even though Ellis got the victory. I mean, Korobov controlled the pace of that fight, and in my opinion, won almost every round, including on everyone else's scorecards. I saw some fan scorecards in Eye on the Ring. Everyone had either 98-92 or 97-93 for Korobov. Nobody at all had it a draw, if not Aleem winning. But that fight with Aleem and Ellis, that fight was honestly a very close fight. I scored that fight a draw, 95-95, after I got to watch it. Since it was not televised, I got to see it after it was posted, after fight night. And both of them are coming off of the same layoff, about a year. Korobov fought on that December 7th card. So did Ellis, but just non-televised. Yeah, and overall, I think that Matt Korobov is going to get a unanimous decision win here. But if he gets robbed, I mean, it's sort of an I told you so moment, because I do think that Matt Korobov might get robbed here like he has against Aleem and Charlo. And he usually controls the pace of these fights, outboxes the guys, but they just don't give him the rounds. I mean, I don't think Ellis is a very skilled boxer, but I did see he was in the camp with Canelo. And his brother Rashidi Ellis is also a very good fighter, coming off a win on DAZN. Very good. But Ronald Ellis, he's getting a little older, but he is still quite a bit younger than Korobov. But I think Korobov is way too skilled, way too experienced, and I think he will end up getting a unanimous decision win. And I believe right now both of these fighters are ranked in the top sanctioned bodies, Korobov being ranked in the WBC, Ellis being ranked in the WBA. And I'm assuming the winner of this fight will likely fight for possibly an interim title, maybe a WBC interim belt, since Charlo now holds the major title. If not, a rematch if Korobov wins against Chris Eubank, if that's possible, for late or mid-2021. So overall, my final prediction is that Matt Korobov will get his 29th victory, getting a unanimous decision win over Ronald Ellis, likely 96-94, 97-93, if not 98-92, if it's that wide. And yeah, that's really it. I'm going to be boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.